then this bishop coming to c2 will IH7. So there's a few other things going on here. So this kind of position, if we put this into Rybka, would we see an evaluation difference with the pawn on c4? So let's look from a theoretical point of view. Let's move the bishop. Well, if we move it to g6, you see already that there's the move d5 there's a glimmer of d5 being mentioned. But this gives white a more significant solid advantage simply with these pawns here rather than this pawn here. And if there's anything you take from this video, I would like you just to say, would you agree or disagree that if you want to maximise the effectiveness of the tempo element, well, firstly, do you agree with the assertion that the more open the position is, the more effective it is? I hope you do. But then the second assertion I want to make here is that the potential for structural damage onto the opponent is also important. So this way of gaining a tempo on the bishop needs to try and get the cake and eat it. It needs to also try and enable you to cause structural damage to the opponent in an easy way. And I was a bit blinded by that 30-minute game a few weeks back where I had played knight c3 with success. But really, look at these pawns like this. It's much better if we follow this through with a few moves. Let's see. So bishop f4. All right, let's throw in rook e8. So it looks as though white's enjoying a very pleasant advantage here in this position. And it's obvious that there's this constant tension now for structural damage. Rook d1s and d5s if black is not careful, or maybe rook ac1. So you get the picture, I hope. And it's occurred to me I've actually had games in the French defence where I thought the position was closed, and I thought it was safe to sort of take a pawn on b2 because otherwise it was closed. But actually it accelerated my opponent's f4, f5, causing me structural damage. So it's not just how open the position is, it's this potential for structural damage and change which needs to be factored in to the time element, in my view. And that was much more emphasised by this rather pathetic looking game last night. So let's have a look at the game last night in overview and summary. So with the bishop g6, and then let's return to the nice game, the 30-minute game a few weeks ago. So here, so I played the move knight e5 instead of d4. So knight e5 is a bit crazy. So I've made my position worse by weakening myself on the king side. It's not good. It's really not good. But this is quite an ineffective position with d3 in any case. Black has solved most of his problems. Take on g6. But it's all pretty flawed because even if black takes with the f pawn and say castles, f4 is going to be really weak on this f file. So it's flawed. The whole idea is actually not very good. So but anyway, he perhaps blundered not taking with the f pawn to emphasise f4, and it was just basically a well-timed draw offer now. So hg, rook e4, the queens came off, rook e3, pathetic draw offer, and accepted. There was one idea mentioned by Roy Royce, bishop f4. Okay, say now rook f3 to try and emphasise the weakness of the f4 square, move like g5, and we couldn't refute it because it's got the idea of sealing that f4 square. So okay, so say here takes. So it's been highlighted. So can a knight come round for that square? Maybe like this: knight a6 to b4 to d5 to f4, and this might be starting to be unpleasant for white. Although here it seems g5 is weak with rook e5, so not this kind of position. Rook e1. Maybe this is equal now again actually. Okay, so it's not that simple to exploit f4. Bishop takes. What does black play here? It's difficult. g5 is potentially a weakness because of this. Okay, if knight d5 takes apparently, Okay, and then check. You know, that's fine for white. So, okay, in the final position, it's not so clear, I think, I hope, how black can increase the advantage here. Although he does have, you know, more pawns in the centre. If he just routinely castles, then, you know, maybe I am getting a slight advantage already, actually, with rook e1. So, you know, how is black progressing here? This sort of position, this is what he didn't kind of trust much, that you know, he might be getting on the back foot here in this kind of position. Okay, because he hasn't got the bishop pair, but I think black's fine actually. F5, black might be fine here. Okay, the knight's pretty solid there. If I want to lose my light square bishop, then that's the end of my bishop pair. But I think black's okay. There's, you know, these pawns are weak, and there's a target now for F5, this G pawn. So it was a bit of a pathetic draw last night, but okay, he's a bit higher rated at 194 or 196, and so I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't pleased with the opening. I think I was just overconfident with this idea of knight c3, just gaining tempo but not gaining the potential for structural damage. So I think that's the lesson here. Please leave any comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.